Pawan sir, thank you so much for inviting us into your home. This is a beautiful farmhouse. I'm told this is where you come to relax. This is where you come to indulge your two favorite passions, which is gardening and farming.
Yeah, I do. Actually, I'm allowed to live here, but due to my work, I am forced to be in the city.
I'm told you're quite serious about the farming. You actually plow the land yourself,
Yeah,
you plant the seeds yourself.
I do that.
It's not just a passing hobby.
No. I really, truly am connected to this.
I have to ask, is that what keeps you grounded? Is that what keeps you rooted? Given that you're in a profession where it's very easy to be swayed into believing your own hype.
I think it connects me to my being. The more I'm connected to the land and trees and everything around me, it gives me a very basic connect. It doesn't make me to lose my basic connect with myself. I think that's what happened.
You have a new movie coming out just days away from now, Sardar Gabbar Singh. It's a big film. There's a lot of money at stake. You've written the film yourself. You're one of the producers of the film. It's going to be released extensively in Hindi as well. And here you are, a few days away from the release, relaxing in your farmhouse. Now, if this was a Bollywood star, he would be probably doing city tours or involved with the release or doing promotions. Here you are quite relaxed. I have to ask, are you extremely confident, or do you just believe in leaving the film to destiny once you've done your job?
For me, it's not that I don't want to do it. Somehow, it has been a practice over the years to be this way. And in the beginning, maybe the concept of promoting a film like the present times, it was never there before, around 10-15 years back, especially in Telugu. What are the maxes we had used to have an audio function. I think I confined to the very old custom of ours. And after that, later when all this media evolved, for me, frankly to speak, it's very difficult for me to promote my film. So even to speak this much it's killing me sometimes.
But I want to know, how invested do you feel in your film? It's an important film, it's a big film. And here you are kind of detached from the release.
For me, I said, when it is in your hands, if you don't give your best, then where is the point in, because for me, I'm scared what I say something and people perceive it differently. I prefer, I do my work, let them judge it. If it is good, let them say it. If it is not up to their, which they can achieve, they can reject it. It is, for me, I believe in that principle.
So you feel like your most important work is done at the shooting stage? At
the shooting stage, even if I go out, reach out to public. So to reach out to public, for me, always I grew up in times like in 70s and 80s, especially in 80s. There was no such constant hype like this. So it was always in a word of mouth. So when Amitabh film used to be released, like we used to go crazy and we used to wait there. There was no one is coming into our hometowns saying it. But I said I stuck to the very basic way of, and we used to come to know about it through a poster.
Right.
So I said there is enough communication methods of propaganda, way of reaching it to public. So I said, I put a question to myself, do I really have to do it? Does it make any difference? In fact, I'm forced to, at least on a personal level, it's very difficult for me to promote my film. It's saying that, okay, do this, do that. What I feel great, what I feel good, maybe what if people don't believe in it, if people don't buy it. So why to go through the trauma and dilemma? So I prefer to be this way.
Let the work do the talking. So let me ask you this. Who is the real Pawan Kalyan then? Is it Pawan Kalyan the power star? Is it Pawan Kalyan the farmer? Or is it Pawan Kalyan the man who founded the Janasena party, who's getting into politics so he can make a difference?
For me, I think all of they're rolled into one. They're an indivisible whole. It is like there are many facets of that. Any individual will have many facets. I think these are few of my facets.
Typically actors are wooed into politics with the expectation that their popularity, the influence that they wield over the public, over fans, will push the agenda of the party. And yet there are people like Mr. Amitabh Bachchan who have said that he was completely not cut out to be a politician. What gives you the conviction that this is your path?
For me, my core nature is always about to watch the society around me, right from my childhood. And I had some fundamental existential questions. Who are we? What are we? It started off like that. And later stage, I was very much interested in social sciences and history. And before films, it was always my fascination was for the way society gets organized, how people behave the way they do and what makes things happen, why there is rich and poor, why there are so many classes. So all these things were going around me when I was growing up. I think that was my fundamental thought. Later, but that never left me. I was, and I can't say quite updated in day to day, but I was quite active in whatever was happening. I mean, to update myself whatever was happening in times before, and even now. So actually, I was never away from politics. I think all of us are very completely into the politics. Politics is what defines and decides our lifestyle, who we are. So how can I be completely away from politics? Though I say I can be away from politics, but the influence of politics is going to decide my day-to-day life. So when something decides my day-to-day life, better I want to know, get into it, I want to know about it.
It's very clear from having watched your speech at the inaugural of the party. It's also very clear when one heard, your address to the people when the division of Andhra happened, when the Telangana formation happened. It's very obvious, it's very clear that you're disturbed. That politics is also stemming from a deep dissatisfaction for the way things are.
True, true. For me, so I want people who are really at the helm. They have a greater responsibility, greater role to play. For me, always I believed India as a nation, as one year, because I know that what kind of sacrifices went in. And how many people, how many millions of people had sacrificed their youth and so many, their properties, everything, to make this nation happen. So when I grew up with that kind of biographies, with that tales, for me, anything which disturbs the very fabric of that, the integrity of nation, hurts me. The way the state has been divided, I'm fine with this division of the state. The way it has been divided, it disturbed me. I said, do you know what are the repercussions it's going to cause? If you don't address it, if you don't address the emotions of the people, and do you know what kind of damage it can do in future? Because whatever happens right now is straight the result of the past undoings. So now you know how exactly you are doing. At least no one has the courtesy to communicate to the people of the affected people. So this is in these circumstances, and these are the circumstances which forced us to divide. And in not even being apologetic about it, at least they should be able to explain it. And they have to soothe their anger, which they didn't do. And I was scared that would result into another kind of, so anything, it might result into any kind of action which might hamper the integrity of the nation. So I think I want to address that anger and resentment of one area of people, as to say that, to bring out their anger, to bring out what injustice had been done to them. So that was one of the prime reasons for me.
There is so much cynicism attached to politics and politicians in this country. How do you plan to combat that?
So for me, politics is not a dirty word. And politics is which organizes our day-to-day life. And how can you be away from politics? By being dirty, you mean to say, like, do you hate drainage? And we are the one who is causing drainage. And I said, so for me, how can you ignore politics? How can you say politics? Yes, politics has a lot of murk, a lot of dirt, but that doesn't mean you have to be away from it. It passes right through you. It is all over you. How can I be away from it? And it is impacting my day-to-day life. It is leaving an impact on every situation of my life. So how could I be away from it? So for me, politics, I don't see it as a dirty or something. It is a necessary certain situation which you have to deal in a stern manner.
Does it worry you that your politics could pit you against your own family? 2 years ago, your brother Chiranjeevi and yourself actively campaigned for two rival parties.
I don't know about future, but at least I'm very open about my communication with my brother about what I do, and I have an independent thinking. And what made me to go and support the other party, and which we fought together against that party also, and one of the parties which we fought against, Congress and TDP. The reason why I supported TDP, I had my reasons, I made enough notes, and I conveyed it to my brother. Not that he agreed with me, but he understood. It's a point of view, he said. I said, at least we agreed on that. And still, my love for my brother is different, and my approach towards politics is different. And in future, I don't know.
You've said that after making a few more films, you'd like to stop acting and you'd like to commit yourself wholeheartedly to politics.
Yeah.
your brother Chiranjeevi, of course, said recently at the audio launch of Sardar Gabbar Singh that you shouldn't do that. He said that you're a great entertainer and that you can do both the jobs.
I think, see, even for a film to do this kind of film, for 3 months I was not even able to think of even sleeping. I had to finish the film on April 8th and I was working day and night. And it needs that kind of, even for a film, I have to dedicate this much. And I was not even able to think of politics, though I was doing very little here and there. But not to the extent. That means if you're deciding, if you're coming into politics to decide the destiny of people, to work for the people, I think you should be more completely involve yourself. That is the reason what made me to say that I can't just do justice.
Has your love for making movies kind of ended?
No, my passion for movies will never end. My passion for always I love storytelling. So I prefer to confine for storytelling in different, whatever in the way of producing a film or writing a film, everything I'll confine to that.
Okay. Now, you've repeatedly said that you're an untrained actor, you're an accidental actor.
Yeah.
And yet you've reached these dizzying heights of success. It's widely believed that your popularity, your success stems from the fact that the audience sees you as one of their own. They see you as someone they know and they recognize.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not a larger than life figure. You're someone they
I'm
can
one
relate
of,
to.
one amongst them.
That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Do you feel, is that a fair observation?
Yeah, that's a fair observation. I don't know. I myself don't feel like I'm an actor. I never felt like an actor. I never felt, sometimes even people recognize me, I feel a little uncomfortable. I think, do they know me? Sometimes I actually, though I knew it, I'm an actor, but deep down, always I have a doubt, do they recognize me or how do they know me? Sometimes I get this, I know it is stupid to think like that, but still I get those kind of thoughts.
Right. Your family is so deeply entrenched in the film business. Your elder brother, of course, is one of South India's great superstars, Chiranjeevi. Your nephews, Ram Charan, Allu Arjun, Allu Sirish and Sai Dharam Teja, they're all actors. Is acting inevitable for your children as well?
I don't think that way. If I don't force anyone to be whatever they want to be, I don't deny them. At the same time, I don't encourage them. If they want whatever they want to, whatever the kind of thinking pattern, whatever they want to unfold, to become whatever they want to be, I let them be what they want to be. But I don't force anyone to become, because I'm an actor, you don't become, not necessarily. My father was a police guy.
Right.
So not necessarily I had gotten into police.
Would you be okay if your daughter wanted to be an actor?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Pawan sir, starting with Gabbar in 2013 and on to Sardar Gabbar Singh now, there's clearly a shift, right? I mean, these are masala movies. These are big, larger than life entertainers. Very different from Toli Prema or Kushi or Jalsa, which are the films that they loved you in, the films that kind of made you the superstar that you are, the power star that you are. Was this conscious? Did this come along? Is this?
No, for me, see, I love a realistic film. But deep down, I love very realistic.
You said that. That's right.
Deep down, a very.
Your influences are world cinema.
Yeah, I'm actually really moved by world cinema and European cinema and all. But at the same time, it was a very difficult choice for me to communicate, to convey a story to the Indian audience. And because we have rich story traditions.
Right.
So we have a song and dance. We have so many variations. And also, by nature, I think by Indians, we're trained in such a way, end should be always happy. Kavyam, we call it as kavya. Anything has to end with a happy ending. And hero should always succeed and villain should go down because it is the fundamental principle of nature.
Right.
Evil has to be punished.
Correct.
The good has
good
to
versus
rise.
evil, right.
So I prefer that format and I know, I believe in it.
Okay.
Actually, truly I believe in it. So if you go, there are day-to-day problems, there are enough day-to-day problems in life. Okay, you go to a theatre and there are enough problems. Even if you read a newspaper, you have enough pain and tragedy to be read, and you go watch a documentary, there's enough pain. So when it comes to a film, I want the realistic elements to be there. At the same time, you don't try to be too preachy. Don't try to be, you're not giving any solutions, but entertain it, lace it with a lot of entertainment and say the same issue.
In Sardar Gabbar Singh, there's a lot of action, as we can see from the trailers. Does action get harder as one gets older?
Definitely, there's no doubt about it. But for me, it never affected me in a way. In fact, I never rode a horse before till Gabbar Singh series happened.
Okay.
So for me, someone told me to ride a horse. I never sat on a horse before. Maximum was I was holding a horse in one of my films. So straight away they took me to the shoot in Gujarat. They told me to sit on a horse. I said, I think you should gallop. They expect that I know about it. So I can't tell them that I don't know about horse riding. I was scared. And I was thinking, then I spoke to the horse for a while. I was communicating to it. I said, darling, I don't know much about horse and much about you. I'm sorry. Please help me to finish this shot. And somehow it took me, I think it came out well. After that, I got the hang of horse riding.
Now, your fans have been saying for some time now that they would love to see you collaborate with Rajamouli. Any discussions, any talk ever? Has there been any conversations?
No. Because only I think once I think met him. I met him 2-3 times. But once we met in one of my audio functions, I think when fans
and
were
they asked him. That's right.
When they were asking the same thing. But for me,
and he said, ask Pawan Kalyan.
I don't want things to be planned or organized. I want them to happen and unfold.
Right.
And also for me, I don't design things. I want it to, because I need a lot of inner preparation. I want films to happen. I want films to choose me, not that I want to choose films.
But did you see Bahubali?
No, I haven't seen. Because hardly, even I haven't seen my own films for the last 4 films. I haven't seen them.
Okay.
Apart from my dubbing, I don't see them.
You know, I have to ask you, Bahubali recently won the Best Film Award, the National Award for Best Film. And that put kind of Telugu cinema...
Best actor, best film?
Best film
Okay.
Across the country.
Oh.
And that kind of put Telugu cinema back in the spotlight. Do you feel like that's important? Do you feel like that helps the industry?
Not necessarily. It is it could be one of its kind. It might remain as one of its kind. And not necessarily like all the films can be Bahubalis. No, not necessarily.
You have a passionate legion of fans. They hang on to your every word. They watch your every move. Online, you know, in the internet now has become almost a battleground.
Oh.
I'm not sure how much you're aware, but you know, the fans of Pawan Kalyan versus the fans of Mahesh Babu, for example. I mean, there's like this constant rivalry going on. What's your own relationship with Mahesh Babu like? I mean, I know he did the voiceover in your film.
Yeah, he did my
Jalsa?
voiceover, and also when in real life, I think he had some kind of issue and some kind of piracy.
Piracy,
video
you have come together on that.
Yeah, I went and supported. I mean, that way I don't have any problem with any individuals.
Right.
For me, the film is just a way of showcasing each of the film. That's it. Beyond that, it's nothing on personal level.
Tell me about your influences, because I've read so much and heard so much about the films that you've enjoyed, the kind of world cinema that you constantly keep yourself updated with. You named your son Akira, after of course your love for the great Kurosawa.
Akira Kurosawa. Yeah. For me, I think a quite interesting thing was I was in Chennai. Maybe I used to go up in Chennai, so I used to go to German cultural center. So where they used to show a lot of German films. For me, beginning it was not to see. For me, it was a free thing. Go to some foreign embassy. They'll show you some films, and for me, it was an experience. Later, I got hooked to their thought process, the German films.
Right.
And also for Akira Kurosawa's film, for me, I was interested in the concepts. I never knew who Akira Kurosawa was. I accidentally happened to see one of his films through a friend of mine. So when I was seeing a lot of samurai, cuttings, playing with sword and all, I got hooked to it. Then later, as each year passes by, you see more deeper layers and more deeper connections, the way he unfolds the story, the way the characters reveal themselves. So for me, that has become a very fascinating study to know about filmmaking.
Do you follow what's going on in Hindi cinema?
Yeah, I do. But not to a great extent, but definitely
Sure.
I do.
Sure.
But definitely not all the big films.
What have you enjoyed recently, perhaps?
I don't know, my last film, recently I didn't do it, but last film I had seen was Chennai Express, which I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And also, what I do is normally after all the films and also I like the director's film, Jab We Met.
Imtiaz Ali.
Yeah, I like his works.
Okay.
I really like his works.
What are the ties that you have with Bollywood, if at all? I know you're a great admirer of Mr. Bachchan. I've read that.
Personally, I don't know. I know a few, but I never have any kind of personal rapport or connection with anyone, though I happened to meet Mr. Abhishek Bachchan a few times, and I like him at a personal level, and of course Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. Though I never had an opportunity to meet Mr. Shah Rukh Khan or Mr. Salman Khan. No, I never had an opportunity.
Although you've done some of their remakes, they've done some of yours.
Yeah, they have done the remake, but I never got an opportunity to meet them.
To meet them. Pawan sir, I want to ask you, you've never been one to mince words. You've always taken a stand on issues that you felt were important. Do you feel that enough actors do that? And do you feel that they should, more importantly?
For me, why actors should have an opinion on public life? Because they're meant to perform, they're meant to entertain. If they're good in their job, why do they need to? I think it is unfair to expect from actors to have an opinion on issues or public issues or political issues. I feel it is unfair to ask them.
But the power they enjoy, the voice that they carry, can bring light to something that's important, can't it?
See, we can't make it as a kind of not a law, but I said we can't make it as a compulsion for them to say that. It is an individual choice. If they feel it, there are some actors, all of us are different. Some actors might feel to say so, some actors might not feel, because it all depends on how much conviction they have for that particular issue. Someone might have a very deep connect with certain issues, they might say it, but other issues maybe they're not comfortable to say it. I think we should leave we should leave them. I think we can't force them or we can't make them a compulsive. We don't have to force them to have a response for every issue. That's what I believe in.
What is your response to the manner in which Aamir and Shah Rukh, responded to the intolerance debate?
For me, first of all, the concept of intolerance I can never understand. I have my opinions on so many issues. For me, especially actors should measure their words. If you say something, believe in it, stick to it. Don't run away from it. If someone believes there is intolerance, let them stick to their guns and prove their point through a reasoned argument. Don't be hasty, don't be that. If you believe there is a level of intolerance, make a very proper reasoned argument. Okay, this is why I feel this intolerant. But don't keep on changing your stand. Then don't say it just for the sake of saying it. Or even don't say it loosely because it's going to impact the life. As you said, actors has a greater reach.
That's right.
Sometimes why I'm cautious, why I don't try to speak much is, if I say something, sometimes people who like me, they believe in me. What if I'm wrong? So that's why I have more greater responsibility to measure my words and the impact it's going to leave on people. That's why for actors, especially when you want to say something, I only the way I practice is measure your words, even if you want to communicate, okay, to what extent and what is it really needed? Are you going to really make a change? Or really, if it is painful, you say it through reason, through greater argument, and stick to your guns. Don't keep on shifting because that creates a lot of confusion in the minds of people whom they want to communicate.
Right. I want to ask you for your response, or how do you kind of look at the Rohit Vemula tragic incident? I mean, and I ask you specifically because it happened in your state.
Yeah, no, it happened because for me it is a quite painful thing to look at a student who ended his life in such a such a drastic manner. It's quite painful for me. But knowing this kind of issues, because I have a lot of Dalit friends, I mean, I hate to say all these kind of segregate people by caste and community. But I have a lot of insight in this kind of the concept. India can't be denied the caste struggle in India. We are made up of it's a necessary evil in India which we can't avoid it, but we have to live with it. But how well we live it, that's what I believe in. Yeah, definitely there are issues about Dalit issues are there, and I met with a lot of people. I worked with a lot of people. I was invited for a lot of Dalit forums before. But in this particular, for me, this is not going to be the first case. This is not going to be the last case. And I don't understand why every politician and everyone makes a situation only out of this one incident. Because for me, it's a very tragic incident. Unless if India wants to change their political approach and everything, unless they can't target as one issue, don't try to raise only one issue. There is for me, I look at it as a student issue. Forget about a Dalit or someone else. For me, it is a student issue. A student has been denied what he is supposed to get it. Use it, look at it only from that angle, solve it only from that angle. The moment you try to make it from the entire thing, maybe you're losing the point. And it becomes a political battle, and eventually, had you done justice to them, eventually, if that is your end goal, would you be achieving it in this way? So for me, everyone has to re-evaluate what they're doing. And so at the same time, how well you trying to address the issue in a proper manner.
How do you look at the JNU issue and what happened there?
Oh, JNU issues really for me, because I was not much into the way I'm connected with Rohit Vemla issue.
Right.
For me, though I was reading a lot about it, anything anti-national is unacceptable. But the students whom they're claiming had they done it, and falsely implicating them is not right. That's what I believe. And sometimes what happens is that the student leaders' issues will be colored in different ways, and they try to be put it maybe as they say they are doctor tapes and everything. I said they should have checked it before. And we can't victimize. For some reason, there are a lot of people who can go against, as long as they are not anti-national, anti-constitutional. They can debate with me, they can disagree with me, they can put me down, but as long as within the language which all of us can, which is acceptable for us. Someone can go against me, that's fine, but that can't make them anti-national. But as long it is anti-country and anti-constitutional, then definitely it has to be condemned. But in this case, I feel they were a little hasty, I feel.
When you embark on a career in politics, do you already in your head go in prepared that it may not work out?
No, I entered into politics actually that I might be killed. So for me, that's how actually I entered. For me, it was, I said, do I have that kind of mad commitment to be a soldier for this country? And that's how question, it was a madness. For me, there was no, and I don't like, and I said, if you want to do something, be completely in it. For me, there is no other way. I burnt all my bridges. And I was not expecting a post, I was not expecting any success, nothing. For me, it is just the journey to walk on the path is more important than reaching the destination or the end result rather.
How does your family respond to that?
They're not comfortable, they're scared, they're irritated with me, they're angry with me, and that's why my personal life will be always in a mess. But this is me, I can't stop it. I try to stop it. It's not something I do, not that I don't want to do, I want to do it, but something inside pushes me to do it, otherwise I'll be
And you said the germ has been there since you were a little boy.
Yeah, right from ever since like I was 6-7 years, I knew it was there. So I was not able to avoid that. So I grew up with that. So it became a demon now, so I can't undo it.
Wasn't there a point in your life when you also almost decided to become a brahmachari?
I decided, I wanted to be, because for me it was quite strange when I keep telling my mother, I said, how come I ended up in marrying so many times? I said, and my mother keeps telling me, I said, you're the same guy who wanted to leave this place and go to Himalayas and become a brahmachari. What happened to the brahmachari and why so many marriages? So for me, it is a quite revelation for me, even for me. I said, because while I was doing it in the process, I never knew it. So once in a while when I look back, oh, so many things happen in my life. Oh. And still I don't understand that. For me, it's quite strange in that sense.
So how much of the journey then is plotted? And how much of the journey is just, you walking down a path and kind of following which direction it goes?
I can't say it is plotted, or I can't say it's for me. I think it's like the seed is there, and we just know we have to nurture it a little to become what it is. Anything. It's like look at one of the trees. The DNA is there already.
Right.
It just unfolds. It becomes what it's supposed to be. Only thing is I'll just let it happen. I will nurture it. So I don't want to get it dried or something. I don't want it to die. Just whatever happens, whatever the entire destiny, whatever my role is, I'll play it. And
as you get ready to embark on this journey into politics, what are the issues that are of most greatest concern to you? What are the ones that you really feel strongly about?
For me, the fundamental thing is, one thing really affects me is the way we tag the issues. For me, a simple, every issue is tagged either with for example, I keep reading in papers or something, they say a Dalit woman has been raped. For me, a woman has been raped. That's the most painful thing to happen to anyone. Why do you put a tagline to it? And I want that thought process has to be corrected from every individual in this country. Because we have to address the issue as a law and order issue, as a basic issue of humanity, a crime against humanity. I want it to be confined only to the moment you put tags like this, are we doing the right thing? Is it a real and intelligent and thinking mind and a man of high moral character? Is it right to say that in that way? If between keep talking about that UP incident, and it's a basic, simple teasing incident become a communal clash. So where is the need for them to say that? It is a simple law and order issue. So for me, that's what bothers me in this country. That is one, and second is farming, and also the accountability and responsibility of public institutions. For me, these three are the prime things.
Right. I have to wish you all the best as you set off on this new journey. Hopefully we will not lose an actor to earn a politician. Hopefully you will find a middle ground, a middle path. I know you say that you'd like to put everything into that, but I guess your fans, I'm suspicious that your fans may not allow you to entirely give up what they love to see you do.
Whatever destiny decides.
Whatever destiny decides. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.